Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing our weekly technical analysis of the cryptocurrencies that we currently follow. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve the goal of financial freedom. And we believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where the overall crypto markets are headed in the near-term and long-term future. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a model portfolio for our 2K 5X challenge, so you can view our positions and progress. We're up almost 3X since end of April. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button and follow us on YouTube. All right, so let's look at the markets right now for Bitcoin. So as you can see on the weekly charts, we're basically flat. It's been basically going sideways pretty much the whole summer. The bigger term range has been from 6,000 to 8,400. And basically it's been June, July, August, and September since we've been in that range. And we haven't been able to break out. So it's just going sideways. So if you look at the 6-hour market here, this is what it looks like. It's the same type of thing. And this is something that I tweeted out the other day. As you can see, it says that basically we're in a small range inside of a bigger range. And I tweeted this out just the other day. And look at this, So this is what we're talking about. And so, so I also said that I haven't made a trade in over 3 weeks on Bitcoin because there's nothing to trade. It's just going sideways. So if you want to manage your trades on a hourly basis, this type of range, you can do that. There are some opportunities for you to make money. If you're day trading, so you have to be able to take very small profits. And so what I mean by small profits are somewhere between 2%, 3%. So which isn't so bad. Right, but you have to be willing to take those because you can have a lot of snapbacks. So I'll talk about that. So if you look at Bitcoin here on a 90-minute scale, you see what I'm talking about here. Right, so I called the range over here from the beginning of September, and if you look at even with the move that happened yesterday, this one big bar up and down, it fit right exactly into that range. So I patted myself on the back yesterday. And so did some others because of the fact that, basically this range is solid. So this range is inside of a bigger range. So before we were in a mini range here for almost, for about 2 days here. One inside bar candle, it dropped, and where was the low? It went to the bottom of the range. The top is still the top of the range. So until it really breaks out of this one, it can't go to even the top of this range here. Right, or even to the bottom of this range, down below. So we're basically stuck. I mean, look at this thing. It's almost like right in the middle of this bigger range. So you can't even slice it, that good. So this is a quarter to the top, quarter to the bottom, and this is the middle. And that's basically where we've been at. We've been stuck over here. So there's really nothing to really talk too much about on Bitcoin. So the only thing I will say, though, is to avoid the noise. And not listen for all the people who are talking about institutions coming in or this or that. There's so much stuff that's going on. So if you just look at the charts, it'll give you a better understanding of where the markets are going because this is where sentiment is, right? So basically the idea is that if Bitcoin stopped right here, right now at 64.50, and you said, okay, this is the price for Bitcoin, and you just stopped it even for like a week. The idea is that buyers and sellers control the market, right? And so 64.50 is what everyone thinks is the fair price, right? So what fair price means for you might be, it's very, subjective, right? So if you really think it's going to go higher, then it might, right? But as of right now, the correct price for Bitcoin is 64.50. That's what the thing that makes trading and investing in Bitcoin and other instruments so very interesting. Because remember, it's always about buyers and sellers. You can always see where the action is just by where price is based on a relative idea. So I'll go over to the weekly scale to show you that because I thought it was very interesting. Because a bunch of people I know came into Bitcoin last year, almost 1 year to the date. And so we'll see if you zoom out, you can kind of see where it is. So this is October right here, right? So this is the end of October. So October to November, a lot of people came in around 6,000. And so this has been the base. And look where it's been, right? So basically, if you bought it at 6,000 and you hodled it, congratulations, you're at break even, right? So hopefully when it was going at the top, you at least hedged it a little bit. But if you didn't, you're right at even. If you bought it only all the way down here, then you're making money. Unless you've just been holding this whole time, you're just breaking even. If you bought it up at the top here and you held it, you were basically listening to everyone, right? Talking about how Bitcoin might go to 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, because as I keep on talking about, people use a log scale when they look at Bitcoin. I don't know why, right? So when you look at log scale like this, what happens is that this angle here looks amazing. It just looks like zoom. It's just like about to go off. So when you look at this, you're like, oh man, it's gone up so much money, right? Which is great. Then when you take off log scale, you're like, what happened? Where did everything go? Right? So you have to be very, very careful with how you look at your charts. You can't look at things in a one-dimensional way, just like everyone else does. You have to do your own research and find out what the correct way to look at charts are. So let's look at Ether. So Ether on a weekly scale is looking even worse than before. I've been shorting this for a very long time now. If you bought this a year ago, you're losing money, right? I mean, what a great run it had, right? So I think I read somewhere about like Ether, where if you had bought it at the beginning of 2017, you're up like 10,000, percent. But now where are you? Right? You're not up that much anymore. So you had to have gotten out at some point, right? And that's really the key to investing. You have to know kind of like when to get out. Entry signals are easier than exits. And that's where the key part of trading comes in. So if you look at Ether on a short-term scale, it's just been going sideways. Same thing. I always draw ranges because I want to know where the market is. And so look at this thing. It's been going sideways. So it ran up and people are like, oh, it's going to go back up to like 250, 300. It's going to go back up. And look what it's done over the last week. Just gone exactly sideways, right? So this is a very, very narrow range. So yes, you can make money here because it's a 10% range, right? Think about that. It's a 10% range. But you can only make, 2, 3, 4, 5% at a time, right? You have to be able to take profits. So for example, here, I was short at this level here. I shorted it at 215, and then it went under my support range, right over here, my mini range. And guess where I put my stop loss, right? Well, not my stop loss, my trailing stop for a profit, right over here. So I made around $13, right? So I made about 6%, and that's all you can make, right, in this type of a range. So you have to be able to take the profits. You're not going to get 2x, 3x. You're not going to get 30%, 50%. This market for the bigger coins is not giving that up. So you have to understand that this is the new reality. And if you don't change your mindset, then what's going to end up happening is that you're going to FOMO in on every single move, and you're going to end up losing little by little by little, right? Equals a lot to the positive side, but also to the negative side too, right? It's like, the phrase is like a death by 1,000 cuts, little cuts. You're going to eventually bleed out. So let's look at EOS. So EOS on a weekly is pretty much flat just as well. It has been going down. So it's in a nice support range over here. It's been in this range for almost the whole summer, just like with Bitcoin. So if you look at it, so I said that this was the area we were in before. And if it broke below, it would go down. And look what happened. Look at the top, right? If you look at that, if I draw this line over here, right, just straight. Look what that is, right? So basically now the bottom of this range, which was support, is now have become resistance. So now we're in a range from 683 to 420, right? And major support is right there. So if you look at it on a shorter time frame, right, it's basically the same thing as Ether, stuck in a rut for almost for 2 weeks. Look at XMR. XMR was zooming for a while, but it kind of slowed down. On a weekly, Same thing. It's just been going sideways. If you look at it on a daily, same thing as well. It's been going sideways, but it has a little bit of a uptrend here. So this was the range that it was in the whole summer as well. It broke below it, hit major support here at 86, kind of hovering, and now it's at hanging around medium support right over here. So the our AM trend wave trend indicator for Monero turned neutral over the last few days as it went down. As it was going up higher, it turned positive, but now it turned back into neutral. So here you can see what happened. So this is the range happened. I thought it was going to break up to the high side over here. My target was at 125. After it broke through, it got to a high of 123. So it came pretty close, but not close enough. So that's why you have to set ranges about where you're going to end up taking profits. So let's look at Icon. Icon on a weekly looks really bad. On I mean, you know, look at it. It looks bad. So this is the bar. So basically what I'm saying is that ever since August, for almost 2 months now, it has been inside this weekly bar right here. So if you look at it on a daily, that's basically where it's been too since August. This is the range right here. So people will say, oh, now it's going to go up. No, it has to break this range up to the top. And then on a shorter time frame, it's just been going flat. It's been going sideways. So for me to be a believer in this, has to do what I call my favorite move here. It doesn't work all the time, but it works most of the time, and especially if you are willing to take profits. So basically what it is as it plays off of this little range, what you want to do is you want it to go up, bounce off, and go a little bit higher. So it came close to that, look. So you have to make a new high though. So it bounced off here, right? And then it never went. So this is the range over here, it has to break out. So it did it, and it failed. So until it does that, I will not be buying it at all. So let's look at Enigma. Enigma, we did the same type of thing here on a weekly scale. It looks bad. We had one pop up to the upside. Everyone got really excited, and then it started going back down. Now it's going down on a daily. It has just been going sideways pretty much. And on a shorter term time frame, it's just basically going sideways. And I did tweet out a couple weeks ago when it was over here that if it breaks support over here, major support, right, it could be in trouble. Right? And it's been hovering right around there. So where would the trouble would be? It'd be 6526 all the way down here, right? And if it breaks that, it can go if it breaks down there, then it can go a lot lower, all the way down here, right? So this is where the lows are. So let's look at ZRX. ZRX on a weekly is looking bad as well, but not as bad as some of the other ones, but it has lost a lot of momentum. On the dailies, it's also been in a range, but now it has a downward momentum. Because you look at it here, you have, so here I said that it needed a higher high. So we had a low here, higher high, higher low, but then look, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then so people are like, oh, look, now we have a higher high. Yes, but this is a higher high from here. But this is just a wave up. So we'll see what happens over here. This is the most important part right over here, the curl back up. So this is a high. If this is a low, then we have a first higher low, but we need a higher high. So you can't have a high, right? Because this is a lower high from here. So you have to be able to look at that a little bit differently. So here also stuck in a range for ZRX. So we have Zcoin on a weekly. Right, nothing really see because it's very, very new. On a daily, it looks bad. Right, I mean, there's nothing to say about that. It looks really bad. So I'll go over Link. So Link has been one of my favorites recently. I've been playing it because it's been in a big range. It moves, and when it does, it moves pretty big. So on a weekly, it looks very, very positive. So look, up, 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 up. It looks very different than all the other charts. Look at on the daily. Right, you see it zoomed up to the top. So I'll talk about what I said yesterday, right here, right? So Link and BTS are the only positives on the AM wave trend, and this was as of Tuesday, right, at 5:30 in the morning. So basically, I only follow 10 to 12 cryptos. XMR turned negative. Link and BTS are the only positives. So I wrote this when it wasn't like too great. Monero went down, right? But Link was still, where was it? Right here. So I said it's laughing all the way up. So this was when it was over here at 4765. So this was also on Tuesday. And now, where is Link? It's all the way up here. So it broke through here and it's all the way up here. So the trend is positive. So now we have a higher high, definite higher high. If it closes above major resistance here at 6137, the next target is 7354 and then 9501. So it still has a lot of room to go. Let's look at the other positive one, which is BitShares. BitShares was going down for a long time, but recently over the last week, it has been moving up higher. So on a daily basis, it's been going higher, higher, and higher. On a shorter time frame, it's been, after it broke up, it's been channeling, but it still looks very positive compared to some of the others. So it's not, you know, like a gigantic move, but it is a pretty nice move. So let's go over where I think Bitcoin is going to go, some of the others, an overview. So in the short-term future, I think Bitcoin is going to go sideways because that's what until it breaks out of this channel. If it does go higher, the levels are 6,700 and 7,265. That's where it was all the way up to the top here. I drew this line a long time ago up here, right? So as it came down. So this is not a new line over here. So this was a range. So it broke down below. If it goes higher, 6,700. Down below is 6,000. On Ether, if it breaks out of this channel, 240 to the top, and unfortunately 140 all the way to the bottom if it breaks this low here. So this green line here is where I got out on Ether. So I was short all the way down here, and I took a nice profit over there. I am not going to go long on Ether. I am only looking to go short because the wave trend is still negative. EOS has been going sideways, but the trend is negative. If it does go higher, it does have resistance here at 565 and support at 420. So over here, it looks like it's going to get to 565 first, possibly, right? But it's still in an overall negative range. So XMR is neutral. So it's just been caught up in a little bit of a range here. But if it continues to go higher and it stabilizes over 111, so I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for bounce up, curl back down, test support, and then create a new high over here. And then I will go in to the long side because it is actually neutral. So Icon just going sideways. It has to break this little level, and look what it's done. I mean, it's, you know, hovering. So it's basically in between all these areas over here. So that's to break the 50 EMA on the 90 minute and then the 200 up over here. It hasn't done that. It's still going lower, 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 and lower. Enigma, right? Same thing. It's right now it's below major support. It's not looking as good. If it breaks this little low here and creates a new lower low, so we had higher highs, higher lows, but on a bigger time frame, and when you zoom it out, right? Remember, larger time frames are more important, right? It looks pretty bad. So it looked like it was going to go well. It came back down, and then boom, right? Hit around major support, and now it looks like it's going back down. Same thing for ZRX. We don't know what is going on over here yet. Is it a curl back up, or is it just the beginning of a lower high? We got Zcoin. It's going down. Link is going higher, but it needs to really break through this major resistance area over here, or it could channel. So this is what it did. It channeled here for a while. So if you look at what happened in the summertime, it channeled within this big range. That's why I like Link, because the ranges are pretty big. So you're talking about 30% within support and resistance. So here, it bounced off here. Then it went from here to here. That's a 12. 120 Satoshis, I think, something like that. And then so it's pretty big. So then this would be 30% over here. So even if it goes in this range here, you have opportunities to make some money. So BTS, as I said before, it looks like it's stabilizing for now. It's right at the 200 EMA on the 6 hour. If it breaks through, it can go all the way back up to 256. So over here, when I really liked BTS over the summer, I said that it must hold this line over here, and it didn't. Right? So this is what I said over here. As it got to this point over here, 1, 2, how many times can it not break through resistance? Right? So it hit it once, 2, 3 times. It broke through it over here. Right? It hit it here, 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 and then it didn't. And then same thing. It said it must hold over here, and it didn't. And then it started going down, down, down. So I can't be like a major believer in it yet until it goes higher and maybe breaks above this one. It makes me a believer that I believe it can go up to 2671 and 3117. So this was a little bit longer of a video because I wanted to make sure that we go a little bit more in depth on our technical analysis. So hope you enjoyed our video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. We do a very good job of answering all of our comments and questions right away. Thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.